the social media center to find out what Nigerians are talking about on social media. Uyimai, good morning.
Good morning, Ohimai.
Shala, good morning, Salamatu. And good morning, Nigerians. And this is Kakaaki Social on AIT. I am Ohima Maiza, your anchor on this segment. Here we spotlight the issues that shape conversations in the Nigerian social media. Minister of Labor and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, is taking a bashing in the social media over a comment credited to him where he said that Nigeria has enough doctors. According to the minister, we have excess doctors. And the doctors who want to leave the country are free to go. That is a statement credited to Dr. Chris Ngige, a medical doctor himself. Now the Minister of Labor and Productivity, he made that comment in an interview with Channels Television, and this has been described by a lot of Nigerians in the social media as perhaps the most insensitive comment coming from a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let's go now and take a look at the details of that report. Doctors free to leave Nigeria, we have enough. Ngige. This was Punch yesterday reporting the minister was responding to a question on brain drain and the deliberate recruitment of Nigerian doctors by foreign embassies in Nigeria to the detriment of the nation's health sector. In his response, however, Ngige, who is also a medical doctor, said there was nothing wrong with doctors leaving the country as they would continue to send foreign exchange home, which could in turn grow the economy. He said, quote, "No, I am not worried about doctors leaving the country. We have surplus. If you have surplus, you export. It happened some years ago here. I was taught chemistry and biology by the Indian teachers in my secondary school days. There are surplus in their country, and we also have surplus in the medical profession in our country. I can tell you this, in my area, we have excess," end quote from Dr. Chris Ngige. Let's take a look at the actual video where he said that, and then the comments are followed.
Hands in the medical field as we progress.
No, I'm not concerned at all. I'm not worried.
You're not?
We have surplus. If you have surplus, you export.
Yes.
It happened at one time, Indian teachers. I was taught biology and chemistry by Indian teachers in my secondary school days. They have surplus in their country. We have surplus in the medical profession here. I can tell you. It's my area.
This is where we're complaining that we don't have enough doctors to man
Who said?
Rural areas. You know, there is not enough medical professionals. You say we have surplus?
We have enough. We have more than enough. Quote me.
So there is nothing wrong with all of these people coming to...
No, nothing wrong.
To come and...
They go out, they sharpen their skills, they earn money and send them back home here. Yes, we have earnings from them. We have foreign exchange earnings, not from oil. The Indians were doing it. Ceylonese, they taught me. Pakistanis, they taught me.
Are you abreast of what is currently happening in the medical sector?
How?
Honorable Minister.
No, I am.
I'm trying to see if I can get that article now. This was written a couple of weeks ago by a columnist.
Those guys go there, they are trained, they are better trained because of the facilities they have there. Eventually, I know some of them who have come back home with those facilities.
Okay, Minister of Labor and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, saying that we have excess doctors in Nigeria. And when the interviewer tried to bring him back to the point, he dismissed it and said, "No, I know this sector. I'm a doctor. I understand what I'm talking about." Let's take a look at the comments on Twitter. Mr. Odan's tweeting said, "There are about 70,000 registered doctors in Nigeria. More than 35,000 of them are not practicing in Nigeria. They have left the country." This is from the Minister of Health himself. "We have an emergency situation in our hands, and the utterances of Chris Ngige is an embarrassment." Kelvin Ondan's tweeting, Jackson PBN tweeting said, "If we go by Dr. Chris Ngige's argument, saying doctors are free to leave Nigeria because they go, send money back home and get better training, then every Nigerian should leave Nigeria to send money back home and get better training. Buhari's incompetence has affected lots of people." Jackson PBN tweeting, Imo Moran in a tweet said, "I remember when we used to root for this guy when his mandate was stolen and he was taken to Okija to swear an oath. If you live long enough, you will see all your heroes turn villains. Doctors free to leave Nigeria, we have enough." Ngige. Imo Moran tweeting yesterday, Dr. Olufumilayo tweeting said, "I read a 2018 article by an LSE fellow who recommends one doctor to 600 patients. Nigeria has one doctor to 5,000 patients. there are only 35,000 doctors and we need 260,000 more to catch up. People like Ngige end up appearing daft in the bid to play politics with people's lives. Dr. Lufumilayo tweeting there, Wale Adetona in a tweet said, that statement by Chris Ngige is the most reckless I've heard from any minister in a very long while. Where are the enough doctors in the first place? So much for being a minister of labor and productivity. Wale Adetona tweeting at iSlimFit there, Moye Morris in a tweet said, how Chris Ngige, one of the most respected governors in Southeast Nigeria, suddenly became a source of ridicule in this government has to be the single biggest mystery of governance. From saying minimum wage is enough for a family of 4, now doctors can leave Nigeria, surplus doctors. Moye Morris tweeting, Tony Uchen said, Ngige said he's not worried that medical doctors are leaving Nigeria because we have surplus. Well, don't blame him. You know he's fighting to retain his ministerial position. For one to work with Buhari, he must prove to be unintelligent or he won't hire you. Once you join APC, your brain dies. Tony Uchen tweeting there. And then we move on to the case of the INEC server, which has refused to die. It came back up in the social media, the controversial issue of the existence or non-existence of this INEC server that Atiku has referred to in his petition to the Presidential Elections Tribunal. Yesterday, that issue came back in the social media after a video surfaced. We'll be taking a look at that video very quickly, but this is Atiku's claim. Atiku is claiming that according to the INEC server, he had 18,356,732 votes against what INEC declared for him officially as 11,262,978. That was his claim, but INEC came to disclaim this. Let's take a look at what INEC said about this claim. No results on server. Atiku's figures are false. Last week, INEC came officially and disclaimed that in their response to the petition. Quoting that report, the Independent National Electoral Commission has distanced itself from the server results, which the PDP and its presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, are laying claim to as the true results of the February 23 election. INEC said this in his reply to the petition filed before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal by the PDP and Atiku to challenge the outcome of the February 23 election. The commission, through its lead counsel, Yunus Usman San, said the results of the poll were never transmitted or collated electronically. It added that it kept no such server where such electronically transmitted results could have been obtained. But the resident electoral officer of INEC in Akwa Ibom State, Mike Igini, has been seen in this video, which was in an interview granted shortly before the elections in February, which is now making, it's been trending right now in the social media. Chosen Some to sharing that video yesterday said, as far as Atiku's petition at the tribunal is concerned, the only response from INEC and APC on rigging election is that results were collated electronically to a server. That response is clearly a lie. Results were indeed collated electronically. Mike Igini of INEC confirms. Let's take a look at this video very quickly.
What we are going to do on Saturday in each of the polling units, and we have trained people for that, is that unlike before where you have only one collation officer, we are now having 2 collation officers at the ward level. And this is how they are going to go about it. First, the presiding officer, we have to impute the result into the card reader, and we send it straight away to the central server. When you get to the central server, showing yourself, we now have two collation officers. We have what you call the e-collation officer and the manual collation officer, because what we are still doing the manual collation process as required under Section 73 of the Electoral Act that talks about step-by-step recording. But what we have done to bring about transparency, openness to issues about the results declared at the polling unit now being at variance at the work collation center, we now have 2 collation officers for the first time at the work collation center. What you call the RAT tech, or the e-collation officer and the manual collation officer. So what happened is that after I have sent that data as a presiding officer, the cameraman and yourself, you are the 2 collation officers. Before I get to you, without talking to me, without any form of communication, we have granted you access to our central server. You will see what I have transmitted without talking to me. Therefore, it is not expected that on my way to the work collation center, I could do anything funny with the Form EC8A, because we now have evidence tray The fact that I'm aware that at the polling unit, the same result is there, the duplicate have been given to the party agent, I have transmitted the central server without talking to me, both of you, you have seen that result. By the time I get to the polling, to the work collation center, it will be taken away from me as a presiding officer. The e-collation officer would have to confirm whether what is on the result sheet is the same thing I have transmitted in the presence of party agent, duly accredited observer, sent to the central server. It is only after that confirmation that the manual collation officer are required by law, we have to collect.
Okay, that was Mike Ngige, the resident electoral commissioner of INEC in Akwa Ibom State, confirming to Shane Kimbaloy of Channel Television that there is indeed a server. This was just before the elections. And so what exactly is now going on? INEC is now saying there is no server. Okay, let's take a look at the comments on Twitter. Yemi Adebolawale tweeted and said, we need to start a campaign that will compel Mahmoud Yakubu to give an account of his activities as INEC boss. He lied openly and brazenly to Nigerians about results collation via INEC server. It takes a rascal with no conscience to disenfranchise an entire nation. Article is coming. Mr. Klein tweeted and said, where are all the Buharis that were saying results weren't transmitted electronically and were mocking PDP guys, calling them dumb for claiming Article 1 based on the results obtained from INEC server? Mr. Klein tweeting there, Tarugu in a tweet said, it seems like the e-transmission system was used to spy out the actual results so that they know what physical collation centers to storm and make needed changes. Not opening the system for the press and observers to monitor was a clear indication of sinister intentions. Constance Just 19 tweeted and said, among all the INEC staff since the inception of Civic Rule, there is no one with the same level of integrity and unassailable credibility as that of Comrade Mike Ngige. His brother in the House of Integrity is CP Mohammed Wakili of Kano State Police Command. Constance Just 19 tweeting yesterday, Buchi Menkiti said, it is apparent that it was transmitted to the server. But what I do not know is how Atiku will prove the figures emanating from the words and juxtapose them as different from that which the server captured. Which of them does electoral law know? But he got a response from another Twitter user who now said, Ogechukwu Emedo tweeting in that response to that previous tweet said, that is where he, Atiku, will be calling in Microsoft and Oracle experts for verification. All network devices have unique IDs, so the information being brandished by Atiku can easily be verified. Even deleted data can always be recovered by those who know how. This is very interesting. Certainly interesting days ahead. Dr. Tony Akabuno tweeting said, truth exists, but lies are invented. I pity INEC at this stage. In decent climes where people have character and shame, the chairman of INEC and his national commissioners should have their resignation letters trending by now. Indeed, Atiku is coming and appears unstoppable. Dr. Tony Akabuno tweeting yesterday, Victor Ndulewe in a tweet said, we need to protect this video at all costs before they delete it from the internet or say it is doctored. And we're already seeing some comments in the social media that similar videos like these are already disappearing from wherever they've been uploaded. We go now to the University of Port Harcourt, where over 1,000 students of that university since 2016 have not been able to obtain their certificate of graduation. They had actually graduated, completed their courses, only for the university to say you have to come back and retake your final year simply because they paid their school fees late. Interesting. So students paid their school fees late. The university said after graduation, they have to come back to school and retake their final year. This happened in 2016. It's been a long drawn battle. We'll be taking a look at this issue this morning. This actually was reported to us yesterday on our newly activated WhatsApp channel. I wish to bring to the notice of the public again the gross administrative rascality and misconduct of the University of Port Harcourt. Over 1,227 students who graduated in 2016 had their names approved in the graduating list, published in the convocation brochure, and we are ready to be mobilized for NYSC in 2016. They were asked to come back and repeat their final year because they paid their school fees for that session late. The school management set that impromptu policy, which led to the protest and death of a final year student by name Peter Ofurum on April 11, 2016. The school was shut down as a result of that incident for over 3 months. It continued in that report, the fate of the students hung in thin air as the university's directive that they should repeat their final year has kept them stagnant and confused. All attempts and several appeals to the university management to reverse that policy and let them go proved abortive, as the university gave no positive response but rather kept their fate hanging for over a year. the students resorted to approach the judiciary, which they recognize as the last hope of the common man. And the latest actually is that the court has ruled in favor of the students and has ordered the university management to immediately issue the certificates to those students. This is the court order from the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, which was given in 2018, in November actually. We're going to take a look at two parts of that order, Order 5 and Order 8. Can we go quickly to the next slide? Order 5 says, it is by order of this honorable court declared that the withdrawal of the degree certificate awarded and issued to the plaintiffs by the defendants as graduated students of the first defendant who convocated as graduating students of 2015-2016 academic session of the first defendant is wrongful, unlawful, and inconsistent with Section 7(2) BC of the University of Port Harcourt Act, and therefore null and void and of no effect whatsoever. And then we come now to Order 8. The defendants are by the order of this honorable court hereby ordered to award an issue in favor of the plaintiffs within 14 days of the judgment of this court. The plaintiffs' respective end degree certificate as students who validly graduated from the first defendant's institution in the 2015-2016 academic session, having had their names so published in the 31st convocation brochure of the first defendant. The first defendant in this case referring to the University of Port Harcourt and the Vice Chancellor, Professor Lale. And this was how the students reacted after the court granted that judgment. This was in November last year. The BBC News Pidgin reporting, they said, Federal High Court orders Uniport to award certificates of 2015-2016 graduates. Let's take a look at this video report very quickly.
I want to thank God because my struggle was not a waste. I thought of so many things. Most of us thought of even going to commit suicide. I was one of those that had BP for this case because I almost lost my child in the process of this race.
We did very, very happy because the courts don't see and say they don't put personal interest. And the matter where they hold us for don't make any sense.
I did very happy. I did very, very happy to hear this news.
You can see the joy around my face, like you can see I am too excited.
What happened for court today? We say court deliver judgment for this matter today, and courts grant all the prayers where the students pray the court.
Okay, so the Federal High Court granted all the prayers the students brought, but that was in November last year. Up till now, the court gave University of Port Harcourt 14 days. But up till now, that order has not been complied with. Mr. Osas tweeting said, Uniport ignores court order and demands that graduated students return to repeat final year. The University of Port Harcourt has refused to let its 2016 set of graduates go. I hope the NUC or somebody at the NUC or the Ministry of Education, Honorable Minister of Education, Adamu, we hope you are watching this. I think this definitely needs some level of intervention from the Federal Ministry of Education. We go now to this issue of a Nigerian lady who is calling for help. She's sick and ill with cancer. Let's take a look at this tweet that was posted on Twitter by her husband. Olga Douglas tweeting said, fellow Nigerian, kindly save the life of my wife from dying of cancer of the bone. Help with any little token. We are in need of 12 million naira for the conservative surgery at India. My details are Olga Douglas, GTB savings account 01263388288. God bless you all. Let's take a look at this cry for help from this Nigerian lady. Let's take a look.
Good morning, my fellow Nigerians. My name is Happiness Olga. I am a mother of 3. I have been diagnosed of fibroid sarcoma, cancer of the bone. We have been referred to India for a conservative surgery. We are in need of 12 million naira. 12 million naira for the surgery. Please, my fellow Nigerians. Please, my fellow Nigerians. Help me with this money to embark on this operation. Please save my life. Save my life, please. I don't know how God will touch your life to help me. Please help me. Please help me. Nigerians, please help me. Please.
Okay, so those are the details. I know that there's somebody who is watching me right now who actually can write a check of 12 million without it having a dent in their bank account. So please, if you can help, assist this lady. Those are the account details. Olga Douglas O 0126338288 GT Bank savings account. We move on from this issue to the story of some Nigerian ladies who are beating up their friend Mirabel. Actually, from Sub-Delivery Zone, we saw this video yesterday on Twitter. Viral video of a lady, Mirabel, being confronted with several slaps by her friends for allegedly dating the father of one of them and the boyfriend of another. Video credit Uncle X Official. I will take a look at this video very quickly, and the comments are followed.
What did they do for them? What did they do for them when they send you money? You, Mirabel, I'll for this thing. That was I don't come for you. You I take as my own. Mirabel, I take you as my own. May I start to post? I beg you just know. Don't do. We just know. Wait, one last laugh. Babe, I too like you. I too like you. I see me like this, I don't get mad. I too like you, but what you did, beyond control. Very, very beyond control. Leave her. My daddy the same money they give you. This girl, we did WhatsApp, we did everywhere. You want to break my mommy marriage? Mirabel, You want?
Okay, we'll run through the comments very quickly as we close the show this morning. Adebayo Rufai posting said, "You are beating your stepmother like that? You go hear him." And official David said, "Young lady, go and ask your dad why he's sending her money. Leave the poor girl alone." And then from MZ Guinea, last the dad will marry her and take her to the next level. But why didn't they approach the dad first? They have no right to hit that lady. And then from Dr. JB1, if you know your dad likes women, don't take your friends home. Some people don't know what loyalty is, especially when money is involved. Don't be the one that will bring a co-wife for your mom. Dr. JB1 Unfortunately, this is the much we can take this morning. I know that Arsenal fans and Manchester United fans are not happy over the results of yesterday as the battle for the top 4 in the EPL intensifies. But this is where we draw the curtain this morning. Please follow the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Kakaaki Social, and subscribe to our WhatsApp channel as well. I am Oimaya Maize, handing over back now to Salamatu and Shola.
Thank you so much, Ohima. Today is Thursday, right?
Yes, please.
So we expect more interesting content tomorrow. Thank you so much, Ohima.